Fighter of the year.
Yeah, that's the
Are you
biggest
ready?
thing. It's like
Any guess on
the main
this?
guy at the
I'm telling you, you know some of the guys already who's going to be nominated. You can just look back
Fedor
and
is
say, this
in there,
guy.
for sure. GSP's got to be in there.
That's right.
Right?
Anderson Silva.
Anderson Silva needs
See,
to be
we
in
know
there.
these guys
Machida
are already
needs
in
to be
here. Here's the Fighter of the Year nominees. Lyoto Machida. The Dragon is still undefeated. He had that controversial win over Shogun Rua, but he also had wins over Thiago Silva and Rashad Evans. Fedor Emelianenko has not lost a fight since 2000, and he just keeps on going. George St. Pierre, he beat BJ Penn, he beat Thiago Alves to retain his title. He hasn't lost since 2007. Anderson Silva beat Talis Ladies and then Forrest Griffin in 2009. Since joining the UFC, he has gone 10-0, 9 of those 10 wins by way of stoppage. Moonlighted also as a light heavyweight when he simply got maybe a little bored with his middleweight triumphs.
Yeah, he's the best record right now in the UFC, right?
And Silva and St. Pierre and Emelianenko as good as it gets. And Brock Lesnar in 5 professional fights. He's already the UFC heavyweight champ. And, well, let's face it, I don't know if there's another fighter out there that's gotten so much attention so quickly. A little controversial as well. He avenged his loss with Mir. He is a man who is not afraid to speak. He is a controversial figure in many ways as he kind of keeps to himself out in his little neck of the woods, and also going through time right now where there is much speculation as about his fighting future because of an illness that has still not been at least publicly announced at this time, and exactly the extent of it and what all he's going through. So main thing is we wish our best to Brock Lesnar. We hope that whatever works out that he is okay whether he fights again or not. But he certainly made an impact on the scene in 2009, and he stirred up some controversy because he went back to his WWE days after his last victory when he had to dish on everybody, including his opponent and the beer company that sponsors the UFC.
You know, we've been talking about a call for fighters, you know, and you like a fighter, you don't like him, and he makes himself a not likable guy. But that means that a lot of people want to see him lose, and that means he puts a lot of people in the seat. So he's doing a good thing. I think it's all an act, by the way.
Yes, and so we've got tough competition all the way around, including Fedor, who defeated Arlovsky when it looked like Arlovsky was winning the round. And certainly Brett Rogers won the first round against him before being knocked out. But the last emperor still goes. All right, GSP, Anderson Silva, Brock Lesnar, Fedor, and Machida. And the winner is...
I'm learning so much, and I think I saw almost everything, but I didn't see his jump.
Really?
Am I going to see the famous jump today?
For me?
Yes.
No, I can't do that anymore.
No?
He can't do that because
Maybe
he's a
him?
stone. No, I'm going to break some limbs. Maybe
There we
Kenny.
go.
Look
We
at
have
this.
a
Look at this.
kick,
We'll
kind
get
of.
loosened up here.
Thank you.
We'll get loosened up for you. All right,
Okay,
the winner.
who is it?
The winner.
Who did you pick?
You know who I picked? Okay, I picked GSP.
Okay.
That was my vote. Who was your
Let's
vote?
go pick. Fedor.
Okay.
Fedor, yeah. Fedor, because just of his record. I mean, this guy, he's unbeatable. He's undefeated. He won one time, lost one time by a cut, but I mean, losing by a cut is not a real lose. I always say not a real loss, I always say. Plus the rematch that he had with him, there was Tsuyoshi Kosaka, a guy that I fought back in the day. He beat him up so bad, and they stopped that fight also by multiple cuts. So, yeah, in my book, he's undefeated. And he fought the best guys out there.
Here's why I picked GSP, simply because he fights in the top organization, the UFC. And St. Pierre has beaten everyone who is supposed to be the next guy in line in his weight division.
He's my favorite fighter.
And everybody he fights, and I could almost, Anderson Silva's the same way, because I think they fight in the toughest top-to-bottom organization. They fight the toughest guys.
Okay.
And that's the only reason I'd give a slight. I mean, it's still a coin toss, I know, out there, I think, between those three, because all three are going to be legends.
So who is it?
Well, if it's Lesnar or Machida, boy, have we gone off a different path.
Give it to me. Ah, Kenny's right. George St. Pierre.
George St. Pierre.
You know, way back in 2003, when Jens Pulver fought Dwayne Ludwig, he was on the card too, and he fought Thomas Denny, I believe. And afterwards, he came to me to shake his hand, and I told him there, I said, "You're going to be a world champion." He was. And you very, very good. And bada bing, bada boom. He's the champ.
You picked correctly, boss. He hasn't lost since Matt Serra in 2007. He told us about going on this incredible training after that, and everything has worked out. You know, Alves looked like a guy maybe. BJ Penn moving in the weight class, how would he do? Certainly a lot of questions. Was GSP ready for this? And he was. Every challenge that was presented him, he responded. You know, the same is about Fedor and the same for Silva as well.
Yeah, he's like a rock. This guy is always good. His preparation, his dedication to train, to mixed martial arts is just unbelievable. On top of that, great ambassador for the sport.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's, and the thing is, again, Lester, our best wishes for him. The other four, Machida, Emelianenko, you're going to see them again. Obviously, you're going to see Silva and you're going to see GSP. So now, let's hear from George St. Pierre, who took a break in training to accept his Bazzi.
Thank you to Inside MMA with Kenny Rice and Bas Rutten for this award. And especially thank you for my fans, because that's the fan that vote for that award. And I mean, it made me feel very good and give me more motivation to train harder for my upcoming fight. And I promise you, next year will be even better. Thank you very much.
And congratulations, George. It's well-deserved, and you wonder about that. How much better can it get?
Don't miss Inside MMA and HDNet Fights every Friday night, only on HDNet. Call your cable or satellite provider today and demand HDNet. For more info, go to hdnetfights.com.